Hi friends, we are overdue for a tried and true Goodwill thrift with me. I am at my favorite Goodwill right here. Sorry, a car just parked next to me so you cannot see it. But we are at the Goodwill. I did my entire Thriftmas series and you guys really enjoyed getting to come along and shop the racks, shop the new carts, and mostly shop the new racks with me to see what we can find to flip online for a profit, specifically for Poshmark and eBay. I was in the neighborhood. I just had lunch with some friends, stopped by the post office, and I've been doing pretty well staying out of thrift stores and getting through my death pile. So I think it's time for a little bit of a treat. So let's go inside, see what we can find to resell online for a profit. Per usual, just trying to get a lay of the land, see how many carts they have out. And there's one over here off to the side. They've never had one over here before. So we're going to check that out. I'm assuming it's a new stock cart. As you guys know, I'm always looking to pick up little things for my kids. We have Easter coming up, so I've been grabbing kind of stocking stuffers and things like that along the way. Here's a Hearth and Hand. It's Target Magnolia collection. Those can actually resell, but they have that priced at $18. So this was an interesting Chico's belt. I do like grabbing Chico's. I don't grab it too often at normal Goodwill prices. They do have belts here for $3 each is the standard price. So I take that and decide to take a look at it a bit later. But let's get into this new cart right here. They typically always have the kids stuff right at the front. They've also at times had like a dedicated kids rack, but most of the time they just have all the kids clothes and then they move into women's and they go by sizes, and then they move into men's and they go by sizes. So I've kind of learned how they stock their carts here. All right, this is just a very basic Vince, but I am a sucker for Vince. It usually does sell decently well for me. This is probably one that I could have passed on, could have picked up, but I did end up grabbing that one. Unfortunately, I got it home and it had a little itty bitty small hole that I didn't notice, so I got it stitched back up, but it's gonna sell for even less. So I definitely wish I had left that one there for sure. But you know, you live and learn. I did check over my things pretty well, but it is impossible to catch everything. I can return clothes to my Goodwill for the first 7 days, but I just wasn't going to be able to get back over there. Plus, I think I might have noticed it after I cut the tags off. Here's Bloom Chic, I think, which is like an online brand. I haven't picked it up. I've actually purchased it myself before I was a reseller because they do have some cute stuff. Moving along, not finding too much else, but let me know if I'm missing things, if there's things you might have picked up that I'm passing by. I'm always here to learn. I learn a lot from you guys in the comments. Band tees can typically do pretty well. I'm not going to pay $5 at Goodwill for it, but if I had found that like at the bins or something like that, or Dollar Day that I go to frequently, I definitely would have grabbed that. I just sold, I think, the last band tee that I have in stock right now, which is like a Rolling Stones. It's like a cropped tank top. It just sold, got great positive feedback. There's always tons of men's button-down shirts at Goodwill. I do always go through them because I can often find some goodies, but not today. Here's a Calvin Klein puffer that I would have grabbed if it had not been $25. If it had been like less than $15, I probably would have snagged that because it was a really substantial one. It was longer, it had a hood, it had a faux fur trim. And those Calvin Klein puffers, even the basic ones, sell usually between like $30 and $50 for me. So I think that one would have been a solid $50, but at $25 price point. Also, look at all these Eddie Bauer jeans. They've got those priced up to $14. Man, Goodwill be taxing these days. $13, new pair of Levi's. Those might have been good. Those might have been ones that probably are sold at like Target though. So again, not paying up at $13 for them. If they had been the standard like $7, $7.99, I would have looked those up to consider picking them up though. Lots of Under Armour. Lucky Brand shorts for $10. Yikes. So on the way to the next rack, I noticed this really beautiful purple dress. They have this priced up to $17 and it said Dolls Kill. It's apparently the brand Widow. I do spend quite a bit of time looking this up. I do a Google image search, I comp it, and I ended up passing on it for $17. I 100% would have grabbed it if it had been the standard dress price. So moving on to an Adriana Papel dress. I like this one because it is so classic. It's black. It would appeal to a lot of people. We're moving into bridal season, and with that also means, you know, people needing wedding guest dresses or mother of the bride dresses. I always use those keywords in all of my listings. So I did shop another new rack. That is just a fuzzy right there, thankfully. And I found this Land's End 100% cashmere men's V-neck pullover. It does have somebody's just like name label on it, but that's not a problem. I'll just take a photo of it. And so that ends up coming home with me. This was one I really wanted to grab. It's a polka dot J. Crew blazer. J. Crew is trending right now, and so are polka dots, but they have this one priced up to, I think that was like $16 or $17. So I left it. This one looked to be like an English wool brand, and I just wanted to show you guys this, that if we had been going into fall and winter, I would have grabbed that, but since we're moving out of it, I decided to leave it behind. Look at this Anthropologie tag. Has anyone seen that? This was super shrunk, so I left it behind, but that has got to be a vintage Anthropologie tag. I've never even seen it before. And then here, just showing you this just classic frame t-shirt. It also has a spot on it. I am leaving this one behind. I'm trying to remember to go through the belts recently as I'm at my Goodwill, because they do only have them for $3. And I'm finding a bunch of interesting Chico's belts over here. I do grab a few of them. I decide to comp them. And since a lot of them are man-made and they're not genuine leather, I end up leaving most of them behind. I could have grabbed them, but there just wasn't a big profit margin there. Again, if I was at the bins, if I was at a swap meet or Dollar Day, I might have grabbed these, but I just was not feeling it today and wanted to be a bit safe. You guys know I've got a lot of inventory from hauls that I've done recently, so I'm being a bit better about being selective, and I'm feeling very proud about that. But if you guys have sold Chico's accessories, let me know, because I don't think I have. Now, I did find a couple Michael Kors belts, and these ones I did decide to grab. They're in great condition, and they've got, you know, the logo right on there. Brand recognition is something I'm always looking for. These braided leather belts typically are pretty classic. People know them, people like them, people buy them. All right, this is a Lord & Taylor extra fine merino wool. This is women's. I've actually already worn this to work, but I am getting it listed. It's a nice lightweight kind of transitional sweater as opposed to the big bulky, you know, wool sweater that I mentioned earlier I put back. Here's a Vineyard Vines kids shirt. I did comp this to decide, or jacket, raincoat, if it would be worth it. And I do end up picking that up. I'm listing that for like $35 or $40. I really liked these Vince Camutos, but for $12, I'm not going to grab those. Maybe if they had been like $5 to $10, I would have at least taken the time to look them up. They clearly have some stock of some store that donated a bunch of stuff, but you never know what's going to be at your local Goodwill. Am I right? I've seen some Goodwills that almost look like retail stores these days because they have so much like new inventory from, I don't know, store buyouts or something. Who knows? Okay, so I'm immediately finding some cute little pajamas. Here's some Hannah Anderson. I do end up leaving these ones behind. I think I'm seeing some staining and spots, so I'm just not even going to mess with that. And I do go back and get those little skeleton pajamas. I don't know if I come back to those or not, but those are super cute. They were J. Crew cuts, and they are like a glow-in-the-dark pajamas. So those end up coming home with me. They might not sell till next fall, but that's okay. They're not that big. Here was a great find. This is a Mountain Hardwear puffer jacket. It's a women's, but they have it marked as kids. They have it marked as $4.29. It's a women's size small. It's 800 grams insulation. You always want to check that. It's usually marked on the sleeve, and the higher the insulation, so the bigger the number, the better it is going to sell. I think I'm listing this for around $55. I just sold another Mountain Hardwear puffer pretty quickly. I think that I got in Thriftsmiths, and it was in even lower like insulation weight, and it sold in a couple weeks for like $25. I think this one will do even better. This I loved, but I have convinced myself to stop picking up Hannah Anderson or any pajama separates because I just can't get them to sell. Here is a mummy. This is a Hannah Anderson one. And, oh, I'm sorry. Here's the skeleton one. Did I pass one earlier? Oh, my. But anyway, I do pick up both of these, but I end up bringing the Hannah Anderson one back, the mummies, because it has a giant stain on the leg, but these J. Crew cuts glow in the dark ones I do end up keeping. So yeah, I did return something this day. I'm sad that I didn't see it. I must have found the Vince hole after I had already cut the tags off, or else I would have brought it by during the same trip. Again, let me know if you're like seeing me just shop through the rack like this. I always feel like it might be a little bit boring for you guys, but you tend to leave me comments saying, oh, I like watching what you're passing up. All right, this was an interesting one. I do end up taking this and looking it up. It's the brand Skyer, S-K-Y-R, and I comped it and decided to leave it behind. So if anybody knows more about that brand, I was having trouble really comping it, but it just wasn't strong enough for me to pick up at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure nowadays that Old Navy and Shein are the brands, and maybe Ann Taylor Loft are the brands I see the most at the thrift store. What do you guys see the most? Maybe it's probably area dependent, but I see lots and lots of Old Navy, lots and lots of Loft, and lots of Shein. This is a Boston Proper shirt that I do end up leaving behind. If this had been a dress, I would have paid for it because I do like selling Boston Proper, but again, it's just a blouse. It's going to be $5, and I'm trying to be selective. Here's a Joseph A. Bank pullover that I kind of considered grabbing, but I got a few during Thriftsmiths that have not yet sold, and this is like a cotton blend. It's not wool, it's not cashmere, it's not really anything that elevates it. So I do end up putting that one back, and I am glad that I did. I need to have some of those other ones sell. And we've got a new cart.
So as you guys probably already are seeing, prices are definitely up from last year. I think I've only been here once before, and I did do a thrift with me, but just as a reminder, Goodwill tends to raise their prices at the beginning of each year. So things that were normally, like the dresses were $8.49, I think are in the $9 now, and the shorts used to be $4.99. I'm seeing that they're $5.49 now, so I do have to take that into account. You know, every little bit does add up. A few things that I found on this last cart. First of all, so cute. Look at this Janie and Jack. It is brand new with tags. I'm not going to pick it up because they have it priced at $16. But it did retail, it says, for $119. But it's just not going to resell for that much, so I can't spend $16 on it. Maybe up to like $10 I would have gotten it. I did find another cashmere sweater, but it has got a great big hole in it, so that is going to be left behind. I did find a men's Lululemon. Look for these 3 stitched tags, and you can see the Lululemon. Those like the boxed one is always men's Lululemon, so that's a great find. That is priced at $5.49 though, so I think it was $5.29 last year. I found 2 pairs of Judy Blue jeans. I love finding Judy Blue. Judy Blue is one of my favorite best-selling denim brands, so I'm going to keep picking it up. These are $5.49, so a little bit steep, but I think I can sell them for around $20 to $25. And then I'm still deciding. This is a really pretty Ralph Lauren career dress. I usually can do like 30 or so on this, and this is $8.59 plus it's my size, so I'll get to wear it a couple times first. So that one is still a maybe.
Anybody need some tools? They're kind of haphazardly thrown in here and marked, but you never know what you're going to find at the Goodwill.
I think I'm about to buy all of these Christmas dishes for myself. I grew up with like having Christmas china that I would help my mom set out for Christmas dinner, and I have been looking for a thrifted set for like my entire adult life, and I never can find it complete with like an 8-piece set. So they have these. They have 8 cups for $2 each, 8 little plates for $1.25 each, like the saucers, 8 bowls for $1.25 each, and 8 of the big plates for $1.50 each. I added it up and it's like $46. I have to get it, right? I mean, I feel like I'll regret it. I feel like I'll have nightmares if I don't get it.
So I moved all of my reselling clothes out of the way and got it all safely in my cart. I am happy to report. A couple other random things I found was this cute little retirement candle for someone in my office that's retiring at the end of the month, so I'll add that to her little present. And I didn't end up getting this one, but I probably would have if it was fall. But I picked up the $3 dance mix. It smells really good, and we love having candles going in our house basically all the time. If anyone is ever missing a lid to a pot, check out your local Goodwill, because apparently there's just tons and tons. Or if you need some flatware. I did check these out. These look like Walmart ones, but I'm one of these days going to find a great set of flatware to resell from a thrift store. I just haven't gotten there yet. So love checking out the new carts that have come in. We've got quite a bit of stuff to get through. They are always hard to dig through. There's electronics mixed with shoes, mixed with kitchen items. It's just kind of a hot mess, and it's hard to dig through, but it is often worth it if you can get to the bottom. I'll usually peek around at the bottom and see what I can find. Super cute little Minnie and Mickey mug, but I think, what was that, priced at like $5? They're really overpricing their mugs recently, in my opinion. I loved these Zara boots. There's another pair of these in black that I didn't really need boots, but yeah, they would have been cute. I have that exact same IKEA. It's like a scarf hanger. You unfold it. I have it hanging in my closet. I bought it at IKEA like a decade ago, and I love it. And it organizes all my scarves, but I don't need another one. Here's those other cute Zara like knit boots. Love them. Classic style. Great for any wardrobe, but I just don't need a pair. My kids definitely had those Mega Blocks. I think they had the blue kit though. How cute are these little Christmas items? I don't need more Christmas items, but it's fun to look through. I've been really enjoying watching the homeschooling picker, and she's always picking up cute stuff like this, but I need to focus on the stuff that I know, which is shoes and clothes. Okay, this Kathmandu pullover just looked really nice. I was like, oh, cool, a new brand. I looked it up, and comps are absolutely terrible. So it did absolutely trick me. So I'm over in the men's item, seeing what I could find. Uniqlo puffer I would have bought if it hadn't been almost $14. A lot of these were really priced up. I mean, this is like $16 for whatever that was. Nothing exciting. Old Navy puffer for what, $16? They're just really coming for that profit, aren't they? Tennessee Volunteers, I would have grabbed it like the bins or something. I do like selling sports stuff, but I'm not going to pay up for it at Goodwill. So I did end up picking up this puffer vest. This is Bernardo. It's actually a women's goose down, extra large. Upon further evaluation at home, it probably isn't the best pickup. I'm only listing this for around $35, and it'll probably sell between $20 and $25. But it was in great condition. It is goose down. Puffers sell well in my experience. These Sorel boots would have been great if they were not $20. Honestly, I didn't even comp them since we were coming out of the season. Maybe they still would have been worth it at $20, but Sorel's been a little bit slow for me recently, so I just left those behind. I am already seeing lots of sandal sales and summery dresses, things like that. So people are absolutely starting to shop for summer. Heading over to the kids' shoes, those are the ones when I pop in just to look at the new racks, the new carts that I do like to get through. They're all in one place and I can get through them quickly. The adult shoes are spread out throughout the store on top of the racks, and it takes a long time to get through. I'm really jealous of people that have Goodwills where all the shoes are in one place. Let me know if your Goodwill is like that down below. Okay, I did find a cute pair of little Nike Air Zooms, and I end up grabbing these. These are $6. I liked the colorway. They'll probably sell between like $20 and $25. I did comp them. I just typed in the style name that is on the little inner tag. I love Nike. It's so easy to run comps. I typically always check eBay for Nike comps. Now I'm checking just the other little couple sections that have some kids' shoes on them. I'm still looking for stuff for my son. These were cute, but they were too small for him. I've sold little Pumas like that too. Like if I got those at like the bins, I probably would have grabbed those. They're super clean. I will grab little baby Pumas, New Balance, Nike. I'm trying to think what other ones, but those are super glittery. My daughter would have loved those if they were her size, but they were too small. Moving on to the last little section that has some kids' shoes. This is usually if I'm going to find some where I do find some good ones. Also picking up things for my daughter, but these all end up being too small. She is just growing so tall. She is 8 and she already comes up to my shoulders, so she grows out of shoes a lot. All right, these are a great style of Nike, but I looked them up and I ended up leaving them behind. So a strange phenomena that I noticed, and I'm going to have to keep an eye on it. Their purse prices are usually so high, but they seemed a little lower. So this first one that I'm checking out is an Amy Kestenberg bag, and I have sold a couple of her bags before pretty successfully. This is like a nylon crossbody tote. I look this up, I end up leaving it, but what I'm seeing is a little bit lower bag prices, and I don't know if it was just the one person tagging them. Usually their bags are like $12, $15, and I'm seeing some for like $9 and $10. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that, but maybe that'll mean that I'm able to pick up bags more often. But I do think most of the really good ones get taken probably for Shop Goodwill online. And then when I find the mid-tier ones, they're typically too expensive, so I leave them behind. But I'll keep an eye on it as we do future thrifts with me's. I'll report back. This Botkier bag is interesting because I have this. I found it at the bins once and I ended up keeping it. So it's just a cute little like mini backpack. I originally bought it at the bins to resell and then ended up keeping it, but I'm not going to pay the Goodwill price for it. But if you do see bags from Botkier, look them up because some of them can do really well. It's a reputable brand, but I think that backpack might have been in like some sort of subscription box, so it's really prevalent, and it's probably not worth picking up anyway.
Moon boots. Guys, if you are not familiar with moon boots, these are a total bolo. The last time I had like a kid's pair and they sold for over like $100. Now those were new in box, but I'll look them up just to be safe, but I'm pretty sure these are going to be a really, really good pickup. And I was literally just on my way to check out.
Can you hear the little jingles? I thought this was the cutest shirt. Not for resale. But I did find a few, again, on my way to check out that caught my eye. This is a carbon to cobalt sweater. I have also already worn this to work, but it's in great condition. I've only sold carbon to cobalt a couple times and it did pretty well. They also had this, which marked as a blouse, but it is a super cute boho dress. I have also worn this to work already. Betsy Johnson, I will pass on a lot, but that was a really cute style, so I grabbed it. And then I seem to have stumbled upon someone's little wardrobe because these were all right in a row. This is an Eileen Fisher 100% linen, and all of these are my size, so I'll get to wear them. This is a Garnet Hill extra fine merino wool sweater. And then I do end up leaving this Sanctuary behind. Sanctuary has been a really slow seller for me, so I end up putting that one back. This one, this T-Law or TLA Anthropology, I do pick up, but I also return because it's missing a waist belt. So I should not have grabbed that. That gets taken back. This is a Garnet Hill 100% linen shirt. If it wasn't linen, I would have left it because Garnet Hill is hit or miss for me. But the better material fabrics do much better for me. Full cart alert, time to check out.
I feel like I always say this, but like once again, I found way more things than I was expecting. I ended up getting 22 items for $107.44. So I did have like $7 in points to redeem. I paid for my own stuff first, so I had points built from that, just like $6 in points, and then I had the 20% off coupon. So I'm pretty excited about like some of those kids pajama sets. Obviously, I'm excited about the moon boots. We found some cashmere and some like really good merino wool. And then we hit that mother load of like women's small tops. It's on the small side for those brands, but they're really good materials, and yes, I'll be able to wear them before I get them listed. Also, I had a really fun conversation with the new employee that was checking out. He said he's actually a manager, and he was like, oh my gosh, I love thrifting. And we were talking about like thrift stores in the local areas because he was really interested in like my dishes. He thought those were super cool. I really am glad that I decided to pick those up. I think we are going to have hopefully years and years of loving them as like a family tradition for us, just like I grew up with, and that makes me really happy. So now to get them home, to get them inventoried, photograph listed, all of those things, stay tuned for those videos. I've been doing more chatty work with me's. I've also been doing a lot of what sold videos, what actually sold videos, and I don't want you to miss any of those. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.